Yeah. Yeah, good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I am Toastmaster Manas Naik, pleased to be your sergeant at arms for today's meeting. Now I am opening speaker community's Toastmasters Club's 34th meeting officially. So today is a wonderful day, that is Navratri is going on started. So last moment we did a lot of things. So here just let me share some instructions which we need to follow in this online meeting environment. First, I request all of you to rename yourself. Just all Toastmasters can prefix TM to your name and guest can prefix guest. I also request all that speakers and role holders to prefix their role to their name so that it's easy to identify them. I give you 10 seconds for this activity. If you face any hurdles, then just let me know. I will happy to help you. I would request you not to type in the chat box when a speaker is speaking, as it disturbs the speaker. You can use the private chat to provide feedback. You are all requested to keep your video on if you are not moving around or not sipping any drinks, and audio on mute in case you are not speaking. If you are a speaker, then please ensure that you pin the timer or confirm that the same is visible at all times when you speak. You cannot you can connect with me for any technical glitch because I am your sergeant at arms as well tech master for today's meeting. All speakers are requested to do a quick audio and video check before they start their speech. I will guide if you have any technical glitch. I will guide on the setting parts. You can network after the meeting. Here we can display a hi-fi or namaste when taking over or leaving the room. Let me share the mission of our club. It is we provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now it's a time for me to invite our presiding officer. It's a great pleasure to introduce our presiding officer who is going to officially begin today's meeting and also talk us on our club business. So in today's meeting, we have again our gorgeous lady, multi-talented and chocolatey chef consultant with us who loves art and who always explore new things. So it's our privilege to have her as presiding officer for the day. Now, without any delay, let me introduce our presiding officer with a round of applause. She is none other than our VP membership Toastmaster Serene. Over to you, Serene.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manas, and thank you for that energy. Welcome to our 34th meeting of Speakers Community Toastmasters Club. I officially declared this meeting open. As I am not seeing any guests here, but I can see two guest Toastmasters, Toastmaster Mariamma and Toastmaster Weber. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you have a great time with us.
Shouldn't Vaibhav is guest?
Okay. Hi, Weber. Weber, I see that you are new to the club, and just could you tell me within 1 minute as to how you came to know about us and what are your expectations?
Sure. Thanks for your welcome. So basically, I came to know about this club from Ankit. Ankit, I know from a past organization we worked together. So he's an ex-colleague of mine. So that is how I know about the club. And the reason for being here is because I want to improve upon my public speaking skills, and I have always had this stage fright since childhood.
Thank you, Toastmaster Weber. Hope you have a good time and you do join us later on.
Sure.
Yeah. As we are on the brink of the festival seasons, and since all the festivals start from a story. Let me give you one small story before we begin our whole meeting. This story is about a person named Akrit, and he was a very bad person. He had very bad nature, not a good influence on others, and he had very bad thoughts. But somehow he came in possession of two mantras. One, that whatever game that he played, he would win, and the other one was any corpse or any dead body, he could make that person live again. So he had two mantras with him. So he never used the other one, but the first one he used to play games and to win. So he always played with kings and his people, and he would always win those games. But once, while coming back from the palace, he saw this fireplace where bodies are usually burned, and he saw this body half burnt. So half was burnt, half was okay. And he thought, why not? Let's just try the other mantra that we have. And what he did is he started chanting the mantra, and halfway in the mantra, he saw movements in the finger and one eye going round and round. He got so scared that he ran away from that place, went to his home, locked his door, and sat under his table, thinking that no harm will come my way. But after a few seconds, this corpse came and flung open the door, and he entered. This corpse entered and started mumbling. He couldn't understand, but his idea was to just jump out from the window and run as far as he could. He went on to the next village, and he thought the cops wouldn't catch me. He's very slow. It is very slow and it would not catch me. I could live my life happily here. He started living, he started playing games, winning, money came in, people came in, women came in, and he started enjoying. But one day, this cops again came in into his palace, and by then he was rich, and he came in into its palace. All the people around died just by seeing the corpse, because it has been a long time. The corpse has started, the burnt part has started decaying, and the eye was still rolling around, and now the corpse was shouting. It was not mumbling but shouting loudly. So again, what did Mr. Akrit do? He jumped from his window again. But what happens now is he's sitting in his palace and not in his hut. And now the room that he was sitting in was on the second floor. He jumped, he didn't realize this. He jumped and he fell and died on the spot. I don't know what happened to the corpse after then. I don't know what the palace people did. But what we get from this is, whatever you start, try and finish it. Because if you don't, it will come again in your life at a later part of time, and you will start regretting it, and it will start eating away from your brain. So this is, on this note, let me introduce our very own Sanap runner, who always has quirky topics to talk upon, and very motivated, very zestful, our very own Toastmaster Dheeraj. Dheeraj, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharon, for the introduction, for that wonderful introduction. It is my pleasure to serve as the Toastmaster of today's meeting. So, good evening, fellow Toastmaster and the guest. Welcome to today's meeting. So, before introducing the theme of the day, let me explain the agenda of the meeting to the Toastmaster as well as to guest. Toastmaster meeting is generally divided into 3 sessions. The first session is the prepared speech session. The second one is an impromptu speech session, that is a table topic session. And the last one is the evaluation or the feedback session. In the prepared speech sessions, different speakers will speak with their prepared speeches depending upon the pathway projects they have chosen. Their speeches will be evaluated by the evaluators to help the speakers to further improve their future speeches. The second session, which is a table topic session, is an impromptu speech session in which all the Toastmaster as well as guest is allowed to participate. In this session, TTM table topic master will give you a topic to speak on. Third one, and the most important round, also known as feedback round, in this general evaluator will give feedback for the overall growth of the club. First, let me introduce the pillar of this meeting. Yes, you get it right. The Zoom masters, who ensure smooth flow of the meeting. For today's meeting, the Toastmaster Manas is our Zoom master. So when I asked the Toastmaster Manas that what good he find in Ravan. So he told me that Ravan is a great poet, a dynamic leader, good politician, master in science, and an excellent warrior. He was a caring person. Just for his sister, he hijacked Sita, but he never touched her. Thank you, Toastmaster Manas, for arranging this meeting and handling the Zoo Master part. Now we'll go back to, we'll come with our role players. We call it a tag team. So the first tag team person is the R counter. So our R counter is Toastmaster Sai. When I asked the Toastmaster Sai his views about the good things about Ravan, so he told me that Ravan was a great, powerful and statesman person, great grammarian. He was a devotee of Lord Krishna and a person of strong will. So with this, I invite Toastmaster Sai to come on the stage and brief the audience about his role.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. The purpose for our counter is to note for words which are used as a pillar when any speaker speaks. During the meeting, I will note the inappropriate expressions such as etc. I will also note when the person uses double clutch, such as you know, you mean. So I will present my report when called upon during the meeting. Over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai. Our next role player, that is grammarian, is Toastmaster Ame. When I asked Toastmaster Ame that what he find good in Ravan, he told me that Ravan was a strong, Ravan was a singer, having a huge knowledge of music. He was a great devotee of Lord Shiva, and he possessed tremendous knowledge of war techniques, particularly the bombing. He was also a very good leader, and his people of his kingdom used to worship it till now. That is in Sri Lanka. So Toastmaster Manas, welcome on the board, and please brief the audience about your role.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Dheeraj, and I welcome every Toastmaster of the day for this auspicious and wonderful meeting. As a grammarian now, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all speakers, listening carefully to their language usage. I will take note of any incorrect usage of grammar, as well as any good usage of words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. As a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce you the word of the day. The word of the day is persistent, and the phrase of the day is fly high. You can even find the word of the day and phrase of the day as well as its meaning in the chat box. I will give my report when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ame. And our third role player is which is timer, is the Toastmaster Dheeraj, which is myself. So what I feel good about Ravan is that if someone will inflict a wound on my sister, I will definitely going to raise a war against him, irrespective of what the person is and what the power he holds. And one thing also I learned from the history, that from the history and the powerful persons like Ravan, like Karn, like Bhagat Singh, everything, that we should not go for the social recognition and this, we call it as social approval. Because I have seen that no matter how deserving you are, no matter, it's not necessary that you will get what you have desiring for. But if you are persistent, if you try to fly high, then you will get what you deserve. That will be maybe better than what you have desired for. And in short, I finish this with life is too short to play small with your talents. So be persistent and fly high in your life. So our last role player, who is the general evaluator, and he is the Toastmaster Sai. He has already given his view about the Ravan. So we will begin with the theme of this meeting. So Dussehra has arrived, and happy Dussehra in advance to everyone. And we all are calling for celebration. This festival signifies the victory of good over evil. According to Hindu mythology, the hero Ram killed Ravana. The Ravana actually captured his wife Ravan, and in this led to the war between the two persons. And Ram got victorious by killing Ravana. So let me tell you the story from another perspective, and let us find out that what was good about Ram and what was good about Ravana. The Ravana was most revered Brahmin of that time. He was fully aware that he will lose the battle with the god, but still he mustered courage to fight for the dignity of his sister. He valued principle of his life and not the consequences. In this theme, while narrating you the story of Ravana from different perspectives, I will be highlighting some good virtues of Ravana and their relevance in this contemporary world. The first virtue, which is his name itself, Ravana means loud roaring. In today's era, when people are just mute spectator of wrong things happening around them, we should learn from the name Ravana that we should give a loud roaring. We should like a Ravan to the derelict person. The second virtue which I find in the Ravan is to do what you feel right, even if the result may be a defeat. I will use a shayari to brief this virtue of Ravan that अगर उसूलों पे आ जाए तो टकराना जरूरी है, जिंदा हो तो जिंदा नजर आना जरूरी है. And this is what I keep following in my whole life at night, because I'm the Ravan of today's meeting. I will be narrating the story and I will left up to the audience that to find the good virtue of Ravan as well as Ram. Before we proceed with our next part, I will leave the audience with a question. Ramayana started when Sita was abducted by Ravan or when Ram Ratan inflicted wound on Ravan's sister. So think about it and let us move to the next part of this meeting, that is a prepared speech session. So our first speaker is a dynamic dude whose motto is to serve for the better cause. Yes, it's Toastmaster Ankit. And to evaluate Toastmaster Ankit, we have Toastmaster Subbu. I'm called Toastmaster Subbu on the stage to read the objectives of Ankit's speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Subbu.
Thank you so much. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dheeraj. My speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Ankit, is going to deliver his level 3 project 2. The title is Negotiate the Best Outcome, is the project objective title from the path Dynamic Leadership. The purpose of this project is for the member to learn about different types of negotiation and the strategies that could be used when negotiating. The purpose of this speech is for the member to share some aspect of her past or future negotiation in his or her life. Timer, please note, time is 5 to 7 minutes. He is going to deliver his speech on the title Negotiate to Win. So all the best, dynamic dude, and over to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subbu. When I asked Toastmaster Ankit what he finds good in Ravana, he told me that Ravana did wrong things, but there were things which he has devoted on, be it a religious person, a great brother to both the sisters and brothers. Now I welcome Toastmaster Ankit to be on the stage. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankit.
Dheeraj, can you just show me the
Okay,
timer
just a
card?
minute, just yes.
And also you can tell the topic, introduce in that way.
Actually,
It's okay, you can just introduce me, it's fine.
okay. Our first speaker, Toastmaster Ankit. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankit.
If you give a chocolate to a child for waking up early in the morning, it is a win-win situation. If you give a chocolate to an employee for coming on time, it is a win-lose situation. If you give a chocolate to your boyfriend or girlfriend for coming late on a date, it is a lose-win situation. And if you are a Toastmaster who's giving a speech after a long period of time, well, let you as an audience decide what should be done. Toastmaster of the day, Toastmasters and guests. Today I'm going to talk about an art which is a very important art, and all of us use this art in our daily life. It is the art of negotiation. The art of negotiation is an art wherein there is a conversation between one to one or one to many or many to one or many to many, wherein I have to win and you can win or lose. But the conversation has to be in a kind way, with not an aggressive way, but a kind and subtle way wherein the outcome is achieved. And that is the art of negotiation. In negotiation, there are different techniques that can be used. Overall, there are 4 techniques in negotiation. First is the competitive negotiation technique, wherein it's a win-lose technique. I win, you lose. And in that technique is mostly used during a situation which demands very quick decisions, or which has less constraints or has less limitations. The second technique is accommodative negotiation technique. In this technique, you get to win, but you have to do some compromise, or you have to let go of some things. This technique is mostly used in relationships, wherein relationship has to be greater than the outcome of your negotiation. The third technique is compromising negotiation technique. This is a technique in which you come at a middle ground in which both the parties lose some and both the parties can win some. In Hindi, as we call, na tera na mera, that is not yours, not mine. The fourth technique is collaborative negotiation technique, in which all of you come out together to have a higher outcome. And that outcome is an outcome which is conducive for both the parties. So these are the 4 techniques that are used in negotiations. I'll talk about 3 instances from my life wherein I have used negotiation skills and techniques. And I'll be also telling which technique I have used. 2 are personal and 1 is semi-professional, because it's Toastmasters. So the first technique, the first incident I would like to talk about is with respect to me buying a car. I'm a person who always gives priorities to needs over wants. So if you would have told me when I was a student that I would want to buy a car, I would say not now, because my need is not a car, my need is education. My want is a car, I'll go later. But all of us present here who would have been in the age group of 25 to 30, early 30s, can I see a raise of hand if you would have aspired to have a car at some point in your life? Well, I also aspired to have a car. In 2020, that came into a reality. Let me tell you how. My motive was to have a car at that point of time. But at that point of time, I didn't want to take a loan for getting a car, because I believe buying a car with a loan is not a good decision, because car is a depreciating asset and loan is not a good way to take a car. So at that point of time, I didn't have that much of liquid cash to buy a car directly. But I had a situation which became conducive towards doing that, and in which I used a negotiation skill. Cutting the story short, my friend, a Toastmaster Deepankar, who was a very good friend of mine, used to work in Mumbai, but he was staying in Assam. In 2020, when COVID struck, he told me to take care of his car, because he was going back home when all the employees, everyone were going back home, because work from home situation had resumed. But no one knew when it is going to come out. So he thought that he might come again and then try driving the car. So he kept the car at my place. I didn't have a car at that point of time. He kept the car at my place and he went to his home place at Assam. And as all of us know, COVID didn't end in 2020. And his organization told him that he will have to work from home indefinitely till the time COVID resumes. So he told me that he wants to now sell the car. At that point of time, he looked at different vendors in terms of selling used cars, but they were not ready to. He was not getting the price he wanted. He wanted 1,50,000 for his car, but he was getting around 1,10,000. At that point of time, I thought, okay, I need a car. I'm anyways driving this car, which is a good car, which has a good mileage. Why not I have a negotiation with him? At that point of time, my wants were I needed a car. My cons were that I didn't have money, lump sum money to give at that point of time. So how I negotiated was, I told him, I'll give you 1,30,000 for this car, which is not your price, which is not the lower price. And also I'll give you the car. I'll take the car with installments. I'll not take it at one go. I'll give you installments. And at the end, yes, one more thing was that the car was a Gujarat based car. So the nameplate also had to change to Maharashtra. So I told him the end, I'll give you the end installment once you give me the car in terms of the Mumbai, Maharashtra tag. So it all happened. And at the end, I got the car with the installments over the period of time, and I was able to get everything that I wanted. So this is a competitive negotiation technique in which I used, in which I won, and which I was able to get all the wants that I wanted. The second technique I would like to talk about is with respect to my home. The place I used to stay was with my parents, and over there, our building was going under reconstruction. So we had to shift. We had two options: to take a rent and pay rent for a long period of time because the building will take a long period of time to get done, or buy a house and stay there. At that point of time, again, my wants were that I wanted a house in a good locality because we were anyway staying in a good locality with gym and other facilities present. But at that point of time, I didn't have the resources for getting that done. My parents wanted to have a house anyway. So I used the accommodative technique because relationships are greater than my wants. So what my parents wanted was a house at that point of time. So we came into Vashi itself, into another locality, which was not that a high locality that I would wanted. It didn't have a gym, but it had a good place to stay. And it had also good community around. So we took that place and we are staying there now. So that is an accommodative technique I took because my parents wanted to have the house, in which I didn't win, but at least we got a house to stay in. The third technique I would like to talk about is in Toastmasters, which is when I was an area director in 2017, 30th March, I remember, I was having my area contest. At that period of time, I wanted to have a area contest and at that time we had physical contests. So there were a lot of logistics things involved. People used to come for an area contest at one location. You had to book a location, you had to provide food. I wanted an area contest which could have good speeches and which could have good hospitality. Good speeches are not under my control, but good hospitality was. So what I did, I talked with the vendor. I first booked a location. I was working with Tata Consulting Service at that point of time. We booked a venue at Tata Consulting Services there. I talked with the vendor. The vendor told me that he would give me food, lunch for 350 rupees. That was out of my budget. I was getting budget of 150 rupees per person from district. So what I decided, let me have my first, I know I'm going out of time, but please bear with me. What I decided was, let me have, rather than having one lunch, let's have two breakfasts. So we'll have two breakfasts in which I'll have a breakfast at 8 a.m. and I'll have another breakfast at 12 p.m. because we have a long area contest rather than having lunch. In the morning, we gave poha. In the afternoon, we gave vada. But what I also added with that was that I added idli on both the sides because we had that budget. 75 got split. We had that budget. And how I portrayed it was that we are giving you two breakfasts and idli is on the house. And by that way, people were also okay with it and they were also happy and they were getting food 2 times. So this was a collaborative negotiation technique that I used in which I got the things that I wanted and people were also happy. Overall, these were 3 techniques I used in which I have demonstrated the techniques that were used for that negotiation skill. In the end, I would like to say that always, if you're going with one technique, go with that technique till the end. Don't change your technique in the middle because that will confuse the partner and also you, and you will not get an outcome. And always be persistent. If you're persistent, you will fly high and get your result. Thank you. And over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit, for that wonderful speech. Now, our second speaker is a dynamic Toastmaster, Mariam Charles from Sipla Toastmaster Clubs. I welcome Toastmaster Mariam to today's meeting. And I asked Toastmaster Mariam what is her view on positive aspects of Ravana. She said, the Ravana in our life brings about positive changes in our life. They help us to push out of comfort zone. And only when we are out of comfort zone, we realize our actual growth. And to evaluate Toastmaster Mariam, we have Toastmaster Sharin. I call Toastmaster Sharin on the stage to read the objective of Toastmaster Mariam's speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dheeraj. My target speaker, Mariamma, is attempting her level 3 project 3 from the pathway presentation mastery. Timer, please note the time is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of the speech is for the member to understand the type of persuasive speeches and deliver a persuasive speech at a club meeting. Thank you and best of luck, Mariamma.
Thank you. Can I start?
Yes, you can start. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you know that as per a US research, an average female spends 2.5 hours every single day in household chores, and a man spends just 1.5 hours. And in Britain, every single woman spends almost 60% of her time in household chores. I remember when this pandemic started, it started with everybody at home, my in laws, my children, my husband, everybody at home, and with no housemaid. My day was divided into 4 major parts: morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Let me break that down for you. Morning, washing all the clothes and breakfast. Afternoon, cooking lunch, and then, of course, I have my office work too. Late evening, again, some bit of cooking, and not to forget, washing utensils, large vessels, small vessels, all the utensils. Did I forget something? Yes, it's the night. But I don't have anything because I didn't have any energy left for my night. My daughter would complain, Mom, do you have time for me? Every day you are just working. You don't spend any time with me. Do you play with me? And I'm like, please, I'm fed up with all the household chores. I don't have any energy left to play with you. When my mother in law approached my father in law, can you help in some household chores? Some folding clothes? He would say, it's not my job. When I would approach my husband, can you help little bit in washing clothes or at least washing utensils? Please, baby, I am tired with my office work. I can't do anything else. And it's not my job. And my daughter, darling, can you please help me? At least keeping the vessels? Mom, I am small and it's not my job. I was persistent. I kept on saying, everybody, please help. Until one single day, one fine evening, my husband happened to visit the kitchen to have a glass of water. And I was just busy praying that Narendra Modi, please, while banging the utensils and lighting the candles, please take away this pandemic and allow these housemaids at home. I am fed up of these household chores. By that time, my husband saw the vessels. Oh my God, so many vessels? Large vessels, big vessels, small vessels. Is this wash basin creating its own vessels? No, darling. We stay in a joint family. The vessels are this many. Okay, fine. Let me help you. And he started helping. But then I'll just go out and take this phone call. Please, I'll come back again. He kept his utensils back. He came back. 1 minute, I'll just go and check that particular serial. It has come to a very interesting mode. He again kept his vessels. He went back. And then he came back again. At that moment, I told him, please wait a moment. I want to speak to you. He said, yes. Honey, do you realize why I am persistently telling you to come and help me? at least not for anything but to wash utensils? It's not because of these household chores I want your help. It's because I want to spend that quality time with you. Because what I believe is this is the only time when we actually get to spend time with each other. While washing utensils, why don't you tell me how your day went by? I will share my day household chores as well as other activities in office. We can share our ideas, our perspectives, our thoughts with each other. And with that, we can actually spend some quality time. Because once we are outside of this kitchen, our daughter will be all over us. There will be some phone call. My in-laws will be calling. But in kitchen, it's only we two. We can spend actual time with each other. And it's not about work. It's about we being together. I feel good when you are near me, helping me. When he listened to these words, he realized his mistake. And now he has started helping me in not only washing utensils, but every single household chores. He realized that contributing will only make me smile. Now, I urge you to be persistent. All the women out there, go and ask help. Don't be ashamed at all. And all the men out there, go and give your help. The women out there are doing so much. Your mom, your wives, your daughters, they all need your help. You need to give and you need to ask them, do you need my help? Don't say it's not my job, but say it's our job. It's our responsibility. Change this mindset and you will change the world. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Mariam, for that wonderful speech. Meanwhile, as a timer, I'm presenting the timing report of both the prepared speeches. Toastmaster Ankit took 9 minutes 48 seconds and Toastmaster Mariam took 7 minutes 3 seconds. So let us continue with our theme. So as per Valmiki, if Ravana thought to take revenge, he would have took all his warriors and army directly to the Ayodhya. And of course, they had power to destroy the Ayodhya. And the Ravan's son, Indrajit, was capable to kill both Ravan and Lakshmana. But he didn't thought of that. Because Ravana didn't want to make people suffer by war for his personal reasons. Ravana was an element Tamil king, Lord Shiva's great worshipper, erudite scholar in astrology and keen musician. His ruling period is mentioned as a heavenly period of Lanka, and he loved his people a lot. The actual Ravana was not an Asura, was not a demon. It is said that Ravana didn't possess 10 heads, but is said to have 10 heads or 10 crowns owing to the fact that he ruled 10 kingdoms in Sri Lanka. Ravan's sister was roaming in the forest where she spotted Rama and Lakshmana. As we all know that Ram is loyal to his wife Sita and he didn't even talk to the Supernakha. He kindly refused to talk to her and suggested Lakshman to talk. It's just they misunderstood her by dark skin and the appearance that the rest of the things happened. Now let us begin with the next session of this meeting, and which is the table topic session. And we have Toastmaster Ankit as a host of table topic session. So I welcome Toastmaster Ankit on the board. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankit. Thank you.
Thank you, our Ravana, for today, Toastmaster Dheeraj, for such an excellent theme. Now, I am the table topic master for the day, and as a table topic master, I'll be in control of the table topic session. In table topics, we learn skills, that is thinking on your feet, listening, observing. I'll be giving some topics The topics are a bit close to the theme, can be different too. But as we have all Toastmasters here, I believe it will be easier for Toastmasters to take the topics. I have 6 topics here. So as I think most of the people can take part today, it'll be a good opportunity for everyone to take part in the session. And it's going to be a fun session, I assure you. So the timing is 2 to 3 minutes. Sorry, 1 to 2 minutes. At 1 minute, the timer will show the green card. At 1.5 minutes, the timer will show the yellow card. At 2 minutes, the timer will show the red card. You have 30 seconds to wrap up your speech, and beyond 30 seconds, you'll be disqualified from voting. So let's start with the table topic session. And any volunteers who would like to go? Toastmaster Manas, would you like to come? Great.
Yes.
Toastmaster Manas. Okay. So Toastmaster Manas, I have 6 numbers. You have to tell me which number would you want.
5.
5. Okay. So Toastmaster Manas, are you ready?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Manas, Dussehra versus Diwali. Dussehra versus Diwali. Toastmaster Manas.
I like to celebrate all the Hindu festives as well, or other religions festival also, because even today also I just pinched from my parents that when I went to masjid also and when I went to church also, but Hindu festives are different and I fall in love that. But in that when I was in child, I just happy to have a new dress during that Dasara, because in our community that Dasara Puja is a great festival, and all our Orion guys are very much, they are looking at some such type of rams, and all girls are like different kind of things. So I just remember that Dasara that I would have a different dress. But Diwali, when I become parents, Diwali, I know that because I just brought some pataka for my kids. So both the festives are different, and we have to enjoy as per their festivals, as per their themes, as per their requirements. In Diwali, we are just giving respect to our old parents, grandparents, by just giving there is a different hookah types that we are burning that by putting ghee and all that things. But in Dasara, we just pray to gods, that Durga goddess, and having new things in our life, new dress, new book, new pen, and all the things were new. So entire we just clean up all the things. But in Maharashtra, when I came to Maharashtra, so I just complete these tasks during that our Ganpati, during that Dasara, and during that Diwali and all that things. So I remember all the things. So thank you, Table Dubbing Master Ankit.
Let's give a round of applause to Toastmaster Manas for attempting the topic. Thank you, Toastmaster Manas, for clearly giving a differentiation between Diwali and Dussehra and also explaining with examples. Thank you. Next, anyone else who would like to come?
Sai Kumar.
Sai Kumar, great. Sai, 1 second. Okay. So first I'll go with Sai, then I'll come to Amay. So Amay, you can drop your hand. I've seen it. Okay, Sai, you're on spotlight. Great. So Sai, number 5 is done. So 1 to 6, any other number that you would like to take?
Number 2.
Number 2. Okay. Dheeraj, can you show the timing? Great. Thank you. Toastmaster Sai. As you sow, so shall you reap. As you sow, so shall you reap. Toastmaster Sai Kumar.
Thank you, DTM Ankit, Table Topic Master, for this wonderful topic. So as we sow, so as we reap. in the generation, we as a human being, we do a lot of work, lot of good things, and many other things, some things sometimes we do bad, which come in our way, and we continue to do on. But what is the one thing background about is what we plant today, the seed will grow tomorrow. So what the good we did today, we will come to know the results tomorrow. Now, I will share one example of great Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, philosopher. So it was when I read one article long back, before the independence, he drafted the commission, the Constitution of India, where he presented all the laws, not only for his Dalit, but it was meant for other communities. But due to some reason, it was not approved by the Constitution. And then after 3 years, the first Prime Minister approved his drafting commission, which was meant that equal number of people will get equal number of rights. And this continues to so on. And today, what the good he did, people born in this generation are also getting benefits of some reserve class. So what we do good, what we sow today, we will reap tomorrow. So my message is for all of you is try to do all good things and help or anything which you see, meet anyone in your life, because you never know. Today you won't get this fruit, but after some time you will get the good deed of it. Thank you. Over to Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sai, for giving such a beautiful message at the end and giving a wonderful table topic. I would now like to call Amaya, but before I call Amaya, I forgot a very important thing because he's the grammarian. I would request all the speakers to please use the word of the day and the phrase of the day during the table topics round. So Amaya, are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, and I would also request Dheeraj to please put on their timing. Great. So Amaya, number 2 and number 5 are over. We have number 1 to 6.
Yeah, sixth one.
6th. Okay. Toastmaster Amaya. At the end of every dark tunnel, there is light. At the end of every dark tunnel, there is light. Toastmaster Amaya.
Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. I have gone through this quote in the childhood days. First time I have come across it, that there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. So there was one chapter which I studied in somewhere around in class 9, and that chapter still I remember. Its title was Airborne to Chairborne. So that in that chapter there was a tragedy depicted which an Indian Air Force officer faced. So when he was going to his mess after completing his work, he met with an accident. And while taking him to the hospital, the staff didn't take him properly to the hospital, and then he landed with a unprecedented and a long disability. So then he was on his chair throughout his life. But then that significant work which he did once he was on the chair is tremendous. So it means that we have no control over the nature. We have no control over what life serves us on in front of us. We have no control over the things which we expect always. So when we keep on living with the hope, there are some things which are not beyond our control, and we do not have grip over the situations. But still, in these circumstances also, there is something that drives us and keeps us motivating. That factor one should understand. It may be living for our kids, it may be living for our loved ones, it may be living for our passion, it may be living to become significant in the society. So we need to find out that driving force or the driving factor that will keep us going amidst this all the negativities or unexpected things which we encounter in our life. So this quote always tells us that the Ravana being so much powerful, still Lord Rama was there, who just killed him by throwing the arrow in his stomach. So I feel there is always light at the end of the tunnel. Over to you, Toastmaster Ankit.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amay, for such a wonderful interpretation of the topic. Great. Anyone else who would like to come now? I have 3 more topics left. If you have time. Yes. Anyone else? If no one is coming, then I'll pick.
Yeah, Ankit, I can go.
Great, Mariamma. So, Mariamma, which number would you take? 2, 5, and 6 are over.
2, 5, and 6 are over. Okay, 3.
Yes. 3. Okay. Dheeraj, can I see the timing cards? Great. Toastmaster Mariamma, the difficulty of being good. The difficulty of being good, Toastmaster Mariamma.
Wow. Excellent topic. The difficulty of being good. I still remember, rather I would say, I vividly remember the day I entered my lab after almost 4 or 5 days of gap. And I happened to get a big loud noise, I would say a shout from my office colleague that, hey, how did you forget keeping my media back in the refrigerator 3 days back? How dare did you do that? And I was all stumped. So in media, as in when we work in labs, we have media to do our microbiological activities. And usually after the day's work, this media has to be kept back in the refrigerator. The amount of rudeness that she showed in her voice somehow shook me to the core. And the way that she didn't respect me in front of my trainees, there were junior trainees, there were senior trainees, there were a lot of people who were around in that lab, and she was shouting at top of her voice. But at that moment, somewhere within me said, do not reply. Just keep quiet and reply sorry. And I just did that. I said sorry and I kept back. But somewhere, my colleagues told me, you shouldn't have kept quiet. You should have replied her back. That was not your mistake. But that was good of me taught to reply, or rather reply by sorry. But later on, I realized by keeping quiet, I just gave her this opportunity to go, coming back at me with this loud noise over and over again. And once I started stopping that issue, that I'm not good anymore, I will throw back at you and I'm not going to reply softly henceforth. That day she realized that I am come out of my good zone and I'm now an equivalent person. So yes, that's my answer to you. Don't be good. Try to be also a bad person sometimes, which is good for you. Over to you, Toastmaster. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Toastmaster Mariamma, for giving such a good example from your personal life with respect to the topic. Thank you. By the way, this topic is actually a book by Gurucharan Das. It's a book based on Mahabharat and with the same title. So if you all are interested, you can read the book. Great. Anyone else? So we have 2 topics left. Who would like to come? I think Aarti had switched on a camera. Aarti, would you like to come?
Okay.
Yeah, great. Hi, Aarti. Thanks for joining the meeting.
Hello.
Hi. Aarti, the numbers 1 and 4 are left. Which one would you like to take?
4.
4. Okay. Dheeraj, can you show the timing cards? Okay. Aarti, Toastmaster Aarti, ethics versus logic. Ethics versus logic, Toastmaster Aarti.
That is a very good topic. and thank you for that. Ethics versus logic. My daughter is giving me the logic that every girl or boy of her age is having a mobile with them, and she doesn't have it. Why are you not providing a mobile to me? If all the parents can give a mobile to their child, why can't you? But that is my ethics, that I cannot spoil my child by giving a mobile at the age of 13 or 14. I wish I could give her mobile at the age of after say her completing 10th standard. But there is a clash between both of us. Sometimes she becomes very angry that why can't you change? But it's my ethics that what is good for her, that only I can provide her. I cannot say that everybody is doing something, then you should also do that. So that class is still going on. I'm trying to resist, but I don't think we'll be able to do it for more time, because now she's adamant and wish to get it at the earliest, but let's hope for the best. So logic versus ethics. I think we will have to be practical about it, and I will have to also think about it that what is my priority and what I want to, what is my ethics and what I want to follow. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you to Toastmaster Aarti for giving a good interpretation on the topic and a personal example. Now we have the last topic. Anyone who would like to take? Sharon, would you like to come? Or are you done with your evaluation writing? So now you can come. Okay, Sharon, you don't have a choice. You just have one topic that you have to choose, that you have to say on. And great. Dheeraj, can I have the timing? Okay. So Sharon, just wanted to ask, have you read mythological books? Not about like any mythological book. Have you read?
Kind of. Yes.
You've read, right? Okay. Toastmaster Sharon, favorite mythological character. Favorite mythological character, Toastmaster Sharon.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Ankit. Favorite mythological character. So I have read Mahabharata, and the character that I like the most is Karna, because he had this way of life that he was very generous, very to his words, that whatever he promises he would give. The story that I remember, I don't remember the character who asked him for his suit that he had, but he gave that suit to that person without even second guessing or without even thinking. There was not even one negative thought in his mind, that he didn't think that once I give this, that it is over for me, that when I go to a war and I get hurt, I'll be gone. This is my one strong point. But he gave it to that person and he never regretted it. He went to the war, he did his job, and the ending we all know. But this is the reason why I like this character Karna from Mahabharata. Thank you, and over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master Ankit.
Thank you, Sharon, for talking about Karna. Karna is also one of my favorite characters, and in that book, The Difficulty of Being Good, there's a good interpretation about Karna too, about how it is difficult to be good. Thanks. So this was the table topics, and now we'll have the timings of the table topics from our very own timer, Toastmaster Dheeraj.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. Timing report are as follows. Toastmaster Manas took 2 minutes 5 seconds. Toastmaster Sai took 2 minutes 22 seconds. Toastmaster Amay took 2 minutes 14 seconds. Toastmaster Mariama took 2 minutes 20 seconds. Toastmaster Aarti took 1 minute 54 seconds. And the last Toastmaster Sharon took 1 minute 20 seconds. All are eligible for voting.
Wow, that's wonderful. So good job done, all the table topic speakers. All of you are eligible for voting. Manas, are we ready with voting, or should we do it later? I can't hear you.
Yes, he has raised the polls.
Okay, I've raised the poll. Great. So we can start the polls then, Manas. And everyone, please vote for the best table topic speaker.
Yes, I end the poll.
What was everyone able to vote?
Yeah. Yes.
No, I was having co-host, so I'm not.
Oh,
Yeah, even I couldn't vote, but it's okay. I think if everyone else was able to vote, then it's fine. Thank you, everyone, for taking part in the table topic session. I hope you liked the topics and I hope you had a good time. And with this, I hand over the stage back to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dheeraj. Dheeraj, the Ravana, over to you.
Okay. Thank you, Toastmaster Ankit. That was a wonderful table topic session, and the topics are very, very amazing. So let us continue with the theme. We all know that Ravan was belonged from Sri Lanka, and the Sri Lankans not only worship Ravana as a god, but they also regard him as a great king for all time, because whatever he has done to the country. For them, he was the king who resisted invaders. For them, he was a tragic hero who was betrayed by his own brother and who was trying to avenge his sister's honor. Ravana was aware about his brother's intentions, but he never killed his brother. Even if he depicted as an evil king, Valmiki Ramayana itself has the proof that Ravana did follow the rules of the war. He never broke any rule of warriors. But Ram broke some rules. And they say he did this to uprise the dharma. Finally, at the last, Rama tried all the weaponry, including his Brahmastra, that is equivalent to the nuclear weapon in the modern age. This weapon technically was never supposed to be used in the war. That is, it was more for a deterrence purpose. But Ram used all these Brahmastra, all his nuclear weapons. Rama had also weapon capability. But seeing Rama opening his weapon, Ravan did not open his Brahmastra, which he had, because he knew that he had done it, the entire humanity and the ecology would have finished. Imagining two hydrogen bombs colliding with each other. He opted out his death and gladly accepted the defeat for a larger purpose. As you all know that I am the Ravana of today's session, so I will give one more logic of using Brahmastra for better purpose, for useful purpose. Like we all know that Elon Musk is trying to habitat Mars. So if we have to habitat Mars, we have to bomb this Mars at the polar regions with the 2 nuclear bombs. So nuclear bombs also having a useful applications. So now with this, I hand over the stage to the general evaluator, which will be dealing with the last session of this today's meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster Sai. Thank you.
Thank you, Timur Ravana. You throw a very powerful bomb to all of us today and enlighten about the different aspects of Ravana. So good evening, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmaster and guests. As a general evaluator, before I start my round, on this auspicious day, I wish all the members be persistent and fly high in your life with 9 flying colors on the festive season of Dussehra. So in this round, I will start first with the prepared speech evaluation. Second, I will take a tag report and then give my overall general evaluation report. So let us start with the first round, the evaluation round. The first speech was given by Toastmaster Ankit, and to evaluate his speech, may I invite Toastmaster Subbu on stage.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sai. If I need to buy a home or a car, or even to get the best food combo for my marriage, definitely I know whom I should contact, the negotiator man, DTM Ankit. There were 3 points that really stood out in her speech. First is the impressive content in terms of the structure and the appeal. The introduction, he started with going beyond the triads by asking more than 3 questions, 4 questions, and the 4th question was a brilliant open-ended question. What if a Toastmaster gets late without giving speeches for quite some time? He left with an open-ended question. That was a job brilliantly done. Coming to the body of the speech, he fulfilled the objectives with what are the techniques available as part of negotiation and what techniques that he has implemented or incorporated that had given him the best outcome. That was also a job well done. The conclusion, he had a powerful and persuasive conclusion that go with just one technique. And he also utilized the word of the day in a very wonderful way, be persistent and to fly high. Second point that really stood out in his speech is the personalized supportive evidences. Right throughout his speech, when he started with the types of techniques, he had references where the accommodative technique would be used, and going ahead with each of the personal incidents. Like first, his own story when he had negotiated for a car. His dialogues with Deepankar and how he used the technique of the negotiation technique, and how he negotiated a home with his parents by incorporating the accommodative technique, and finally in the area contest to enable good hospitality, how he utilized or incorporated the collaborative technique. I feel the supportive evidences were beautifully planted across his speech with personal references and also some inferences with how these techniques could be used. Finally, the third point that really stood out in his speech is the elegance with which he carried the speech. He had beautiful hand gestures, very, very comfortable, extremely confident in his flow of thoughts. And he always delivers with a smile. That's what I love the most. That shows so much of confidence in his speech. And the way he elegantly carried his message, I noted 2 takeaway messages. You should be aware of needs over wants. And there was one more point where he mentioned about his parents, that weigh the relationship over the wants. That is the take-home message that I have. Okay, so if I have to negotiate with the distinguished Toastmaster Ankit, I would definitely negotiate on the recommendations with the accommodative technique. First point is that what I felt was the types of techniques, the types of negotiation technique, you need not have explained in detail. Instead, whatever the personal references that you had, that would have sufficed so that your conclusion could have been even more powerful and it could have been even more persuasive. That is one point. And normally there's not a big recommendation, but normally if I had been a speaker, I would not give disclaimers like I'm going to talk about 3 types of techniques, I'm going to incorporate incidents referring to each technique. So those subtle disclaimers, I feel that could be avoided, and it could be elegantly carried with the transition of the speech. Overall, it was a wonderful speech. I thoroughly enjoyed the speech with impressive content, personalized supportive evidences, and the elegance with which Distinguished Toastmaster Ankit carried the speech, just incorporating the accommodative negotiation style in the recommendations of reducing the technical part of explanation. I am sure he would definitely be the most sought-after negotiator man. Thank you so much, and over to Toastmaster Sai.
Thank you, Toastmaster Subramaniam, for the detailed evaluation. Good evaluation. So I would like to add one more thing as a general evaluator. So the instances which were 3 would have brought to 2. We can also manage the time within 7 minutes 30 seconds with any 2 personal instances of 3 techniques. Okay. Moving on to the second speech. The second speech was delivered by Toastmaster Mariamma, and to evaluate her speech, may I invite Toastmaster Sherry.
Thank you, General Evaluator Sai. Toastmaster Mariamma, the main point that I get from your speech is gentle persuasion succeeds where force fails. You started your speech with numbers, and numbers quantify. They cement the argument that you have and that you're trying to make. Kudos to you for doing that. One of the huge strengths that you have is that you have this art of subtle humor that you sprinkled throughout your speech. I kept a watch on each and every member, and I could see smiles popping up here and there. And I know you would agree that it is a very difficult task to make people smile on your speeches. So this was one of the greatest point that you have on your side. The third point is the examples that you brought, the pandemic, the joint family, you being a mother, everything is very relatable to all of us. Even though some of us are not mothers, some of us are not daughter-in-laws, but we have seen our mothers, we have seen a joint family, and we know these instances, and it is very relatable, and it helps us to be empathetic, to be in your shoes and understand the situation. So good relatable examples. The third one is the screen presence that you have. I could see that you were standing, and I have seen other people also standing, but the thing is they keep moving before their speech starts, and which shows that there is something on their mind and they are thinking about their speech. But you stood straight, you had a very calm posture, and you stood your stand, which shows that you're very confident and you're very good at doing this thing. Also, you kept moving ahead and back to show that some points you had to show the importance of some points. So you moved ahead, said that point, you went back and sent the other point, which was also a very good screen presence that you displayed at that point. This was a diamond of a speech, and then with some polishing, you could do a lot better. You could work a lot more on it. One being the structural point and one the appearance. In the structural point, the purpose of the speech was the types of persuasive speeches and how you could have used them in your life. So I was expecting a little more on the persuasion part, wherein you persuaded your husband. So there are 4 parts. I just Googled. I also just Googled. There are 4 parts of persuasion: ethos, pathos, logos, and kairos. And if you could just tell which one that you used and how you used it in your persuasion, we could have understood this purpose a little more. The other one, the second part, is something that I'm just trying to pick. If you could just ignore this, is the screen. It being blurred when you said point 1, point 2, point 3. I couldn't see the fingers because, for example, if you see my fingers, it's not. You cannot see it. So it's just a suggestion that you could keep the screen blank, not blur it or any virtual background, and then giving a speech. In conclusion, the strong points were the research numbers, the subtle humor, relatable examples, your presence, and a few things that you could work on is the speech structure and the screen in itself. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator. Sorry.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sharon, for the wonderful evaluation. So let's have the timer report from our timer, Toastmaster Dheeraj. I missed one part. The timing or evaluation is 2 to 3 minutes.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Timing are as follows. Toastmaster Subbu, the evaluator for speaker 1, took 3 minutes 28 seconds. And Toastmaster Sharid, the evaluator for speaker 2, took 3 minutes 29 seconds. All are eligible for voting.
All are eligible. So do you want to launch a poll now or later on?
We can ask the two master to raise the poll.
Yeah, Toastmaster Manas.
Manas,
Yeah, we'll launch.
Can you stop my co-host so that I also can vote?
Yeah, just 1 minute. I will stop right now.
Even you can stop me as a co-host.
Okay, just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Yeah, we ended the poll.
Okay, so moving on to the accountant report. So I will be presenting the accountant report. starting from Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Manas had 2 hours. As a presiding officer and evaluation, Toastmaster Sherin had 3 hours. Toastmaster of the day, Dheeraj, had 3 hours with timer report also. And our counter, I was the counter, so I had a one double clutch and 2 hours during my table topic round. Grammarian Ame had 1 hour. Speaker 1, Marima, had 2 hours. Speaker 2, DTM Ankit, had 1 double clutch and 2 hours during the speech. And Toastmasters Subbu had 2 hours during the evaluation. So that was the counter report from me. May I have now Grammarian Toastmaster Ame to present the Grammarian report.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sai Kumar. So before presenting the grammarian report, I would like to thank all the speakers who spoke today very well and showed a wonderful presentation of the knowledge which they have, and also a great exhibition of the verbal skills. So I have noted few words which actually I thought were significant in explaining the speeches. So Toastmasters, starting with Timor Dheeraj, he used the word of the day, phrase of the day, and he used the word mute spectator. So that is the word which was catchy. Then Toastmaster Ankit used word of the day and phrase of the day both, and he used the words condessive, cutting the story short, thinking on your own feet. So these were the words he used. Then moving on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Mariam Ma Charles, she used word of the day, and she used the words perspective, course, that is household course, vividly, shook me to the core was the phrase, and then top of the voice. So these phrases were awesome. Then Toastmaster Subramaniam used word of the day, and a few words he used were stood out beyond the trials, persuasive, elegance, sophist. So these were the Toastmasters which use the word of the day, and also the few words which were very good. So with this, I would like to hand over the report to General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ame, for the grammarian report. So do we have a auxiliary player poll now?
Yes.
But I think after the
It's launched.
okay, all have submitted their vote.
Only one is pending. Okay. Okay, fine. We can end this call.
Okay. So I will present my general evaluation report. So what I observed, this meeting room was open half an hour before the actual time, and Toastmaster Manas, the Zoom master, and explain, and also the sergeant at arms, double role, explain the guidelines, and as usual, all energetic, and also he narrated the mission of the Toastmaster. A presiding officer had a guest introduction, and also there was a good story in the beginning to connect with the audience. Great job done, presiding officer. Toastmaster of the day, the main hero of this show, Ravana. So what I like, you went very deep into the topic. So from your content, I could see that you had a research about this topic well in advance, and each and every segment you kept on telling some of the aspects of Ravana about his good day, and also you interacted with the role bearers. Like in advance, you took their question and answer about before their introduction. So that was great job done, and you made the session very interesting right from the beginning till then. Great job done, Toastmaster of the day, Dheeraj. And also what I like about this session, the traditional dress form which was introduced. So that was also a good, I would say, suggestion by one of our fellow Toastmasters. Timer Dheeraj, you played both the role. I would like to say doing team mode and just changing the timer slide is a very difficult role. But today, as we know, few players backed out at the very last minute. So most of them took double role, and this role was done beautifully by you. But team mode as well as timer role. Our counter role was done by me. Grammarian introduced the word of the day and phrase of the day, Toastmaster Amai. So what I like, even this was the last minute back out, and within 2 hours, Toastmaster Amai took this role, and he came with a very simple word of the day and phrase of the day, and every Toastmaster in this meeting used the word of the day and phrase of the day. Great job, Toastmaster Amai. Speaker 1, DTM Ankit, good speech. Now I could resonate the same speech because I gave the same speech few weeks back on negotiation. Good speech. Toastmaster Mariama, very good persuasive speech. Change the mindset. Then comes TTM, again the double role. And I would say a speaker taking the TTM role is very quite like I've never seen any meeting, but DTM Ankit used his experience and he also prepared the topics within 1 hour because just 1 or 2 hours we came to know the actual Toastmaster, this TTM has backed out due to personal reason, and Ankit came with very interesting topic. Somewhere all of them were aligned to lean very generic, and everyone was easy, like participated and very easy to speak on this topic. Great job done, DTM Ankit, as a table topic master. And both the evaluators followed the CRC method. Okay. So in all about, I don't have any like any recommendation throughout the meeting. Only what I would say is the roles, kindly stick to one role because we have 1 week of time. So nominate your role in advance or speech slot or any role. So don't wait like VP should send the form and we should fill and give it to you. You can directly nominate to VP. Now for till next meeting and 2 more meetings, I will be coordinating for the roles for 2 weeks session because the VP is on leave due to personal emergency. So kindly nominate role and you can message me your role. Okay. I hope I have not missed any role players. Yes. If in case if I miss, please forgive me. Thank you for this wonderful session, Toastmaster of the day, Dheeraj, and it was very auspicious session, and I would say I really enjoyed this session. Thank you, and also I would like to thank here Toastmaster Mariman coming from Cipla Toastmaster Club and Vaibhav from another as a guest for joining this session. Thank you. Over to team mode.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Thank you, General Evaluator, for such a general evaluation and the feedback of the whole meeting. Now let us conclude the theme with my personal observation of what I have experienced in my till this age. That in this human sociology, that if a person questions beliefs, assumptions, and values and explores truth impartially, then that person is always painted a black. You can see back in the history. It happens with everyone. So Ravan was just one of them. Now, with this conclusion, I hand over the stage to the presiding officer of the club, that is Toastmaster Sharon, to address the vote of thanks. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharon.
Thank you, Toastmaster Dheeraj. Before we take a picture, I think one more poll is left out, which is the poll of a role player. I request Manas to please launch this poll.
It's lunch.
Is it done?
Yeah, done.
Thank you, Manas. And I request you to take a picture of everyone and to everyone to switch on their videos.
Just 1 minute. And
I wonder if there is a pose for a festive environment, and let's try that next time. Okay, we don't have any guests. We had Weber, but I think he left. Just to say, Weber was my classmate from my MBA days. I thought that was the Vaibhav that we had earlier, the mentor that we had. But when he switched on his video, I recognized and I just spoke to him. And I mean, we have never spoken after our college days. And I just spoke to him, and he said that there's a electricity issue at his place, and that is why he couldn't stay back. But it's great how you meet people in Toastmasters. uh, and to yeah, so the next meeting that we have is on next to next Sunday, which is on 24th, and next Sunday is 17th, which will have an off because of festive. Yeah, 24th, and on 17th we'll have an off because of festivities, and since everyone is traveling, we won't be having a meeting, but on 24th we'll come back with a bang. With that, are the certificates ready, Toastmaster Manas?
yes, we can go with that.
Yeah, thank you. The best table topics goes to Toastmaster Mariamma. Congratulations.
Thank you, Shereen.
I think you'll have to smile bigger. He'll take a picture of you.
Congratulations, Mariamma.
Thank you so much.
You can move on to the next one, Manas.
Just a minute. My PC is hanged. Just a minute. Okay.
The best role player auxiliary goes to Toastmaster Amay. So Amay has this thing wherein whichever roles that he takes, he always
you
grabs
so
the
much.
prize.
Actually,
I think it's a hat trick for Amay.
no. It's not hat trick. Actually, I hereby declare everyone that I didn't use the word of the day and phrase of the day. So let me use it. All Toastmasters were really persistent in their performance, and I'm sure they will fly high in the club. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
And again, we have Toastmaster Mariamma with the Best Speaker Award.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Great to have you here, Mariamma.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have.
The best evaluator goes to me. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, Sharon.
Thank you. Thank you, Ankit. I think we are done with our awards.
No, I
And
think
with,
you have best role player award left.
the best role player goes to Toastmaster Dheeraj. I think we were expecting this one with the great theme that we had.
Thank you everyone.
And with that, I close the meeting, and we are open to our networking session.
Great. Thanks, Manas. You can stop the recording.